Hi, hello, and welcome to another true crime live stream. I'm FEARSONA, you can call me Sona, and I'm your friendly neighborhood true crime VTuber here to give you full body chills. And I'm looking at the chat right now, and why are people insulting my Dead by Daylight game, okay? Like, I know I'm not great, but... Also, this is what entertains you guys, so it's not like you gotta admit that you come to my gaming streams to just like watch me die, and that's fine by me. Just like, you know, don't shit on the game. But hi, and I can see a lot of new faces. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Wait, oh, and also I do remember that Elisa has like, it's her birthday today, so happy birthday, Elisa. I'm glad that you're 18 years old. I mean, that sounded weird, actually. No, but congratulations turning 18. And I hope you have a splendid day, you know? Let it be glorious. Okay. RJ Ramrod. It doesn't surprise me. I've always found it really hard to get into DBD because it's not super scary. I beg to differ. Okay, no. It was super scary to me at first, but now compared to the games that people made me play, like Outlast and I think the Evil Within, I find it actually relaxing. So that's pretty you know, rather ironic. Wait, am I okay? I thought my model was like weird. Clip it, Tyrant. That did sound weird. Okay, wait. Okay, everyone is wishing Elisa a happy birthday. But yeah, of course, happy birthday. And I'm glad that you're here today with us. Okay, and I see a lot of people. Damn, people. Okay, let me just tell you in advance that I am so sorry if I don't reply to your chat message. It's getting a little bit more crowded, so it's definitely a little harder for me to like keep track of all the messages. So it might, you know, if you're here for the first time and you message for the first time and I don't say hello back, I'm so sorry. And you know, just in advance, hello and thank you so much for being here. Okay, wait, I'm glad. Okay, conservative geek. That's an interesting username. I'm glad you're 18. Yep, sounds what? Sounds yay. Yay. Like Friday the 13th is so much better at recreating the horror movie vibe that I felt DBD should have. Okay, I haven't played Friday the 13th, so maybe I should. I'm also, why am I kind of like leaning so high? Okay, so today's case, you know, we have another case, and today's case is from Georgia. And I don't know much about Georgia. If the only thing that I know about Georgia after reading this case is that you guys have a lot of red clay, apparently, or red clay dust that's like covering cars, which interesting. I don't know. I guess I'm not. I mean, I hate driving, so I'm not gonna drive in you know, in Georgia, hopefully, or anywhere, because honestly, I get super dizzy and I get super nauseous after, like, behind the wheel. So it's impossible for me to drive, actually, because I have terrible motion sickness. That's how it was in my previous universe, and that's how it is in this world. So, you know, that hasn't changed. You should have seen me when I you know, come to this world from, like, through the veil. I puked my guts out. Terrible sight. Okay, Alexis Cavender. Hello, Sona. Love your streams. Got hooked by one of your videos. Okay, thank you so much. And thanks for being here, Alexis. Okay, wait. Yeah. I think I missed another message. Oh, no, maybe not. Okay, and also, Lost Nemesis. Also, you don't want to swim in Lake Lanier. Oh, Lanier. Okay, I am not sure how to pronounce it. And also there are, like, names that I'm gonna... Mind you, in advance, there are names that I'm gonna mispronounce, definitely. Oh, okay, someone followed. Andy, oh god. Nguyen? Nguyen? I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. But hi, hello, and thank you so much for subscribing. Veil sickness. Always death on your stomach. Yeah, it is. Indeed it is. And, as I said, like, I almost died, so, I mean, that was the objective of whoever did this to me and whoever pushed me through the veil, so yakfu. Yakfu to whoever did that. Welcome, welcome. Okay. Good day, mate. Okay, wait. The dragon of Akina. Hi. Hi, I think, wait, is that your first time here? I think, have I seen you in the streams? I'm not sure. But your username is pretty cool, but hi. And hello, and thank you for you know, being here today. I subbed yesterday. Oh, okay, okay. So you know, you're a fresh face, fresh fish in the pond. What am I talking about? Okay, I cannot confirm nor deny that I drank today something stronger than water, but yeah, you guys will have to figure that out for yourself. I'm actually pretty nervous. I don't know why, because I just had the stream over on Patreon, and then I was hoping I could have this stream on Saturday, but I couldn't because I had the second shot of the vaccine, and I just like the day after, because I had my shot on Friday, and on Friday I was fine, but then Saturday rolled in, and it was terrible. Mind you, it was terrible. Like I went down with fever, with a slight fever. It was like 38, so it wasn't bad, but I definitely passed out for a few hours. Okay, wait. Fun facts with Prax. Hi, and thank you so much for being here. David Alfaro. I am so going to enjoy this one. Love that accent of yours. Thank you so much. I think it's a mix of everything, and it's a little bit weird, but hi, and thank you for tuning in today. We can confirm. Yeah. The Dragon of Akina, no problem. Fresh oil into the block. That's true. Okay, I haven't heard that one, but yeah, something fresh. Switchy, hello, hi. Hi, and thanks for being here. King of Magica Gotenks. Also, I saw that someone... Hi, Gotenks, by the way. Hi, and welcome back. You've been away for a while. Also, I saw someone... Was it Rai? Rai said, or someone said, like, you know, called you a Pokemon, basically. Like, Gotenks, wait, appears. A wild Gotenks appears. To me, it was like a shiny, you know, a shiny Gotenks, because I saw the username, the king of Magica. And I was like, oh, a shiny Pokemon. Okay, off-brand Nezuko. Something stronger than water. Flavored water? Yeah, indeed. Yeah, how did you know? Tea. Immortality. Right, what are you scared for? You aren't playing the evil within, that's true, but still, I'm a little bit stressed, you know, like I'm a little bit nervous whenever I take a day off between like true crime live streams and I have to like get back into it. It's a little bit stressful. It's a reference to initial D. Oh, okay. Wait, Scholastica, stronger than water, water with some lemon? A little lemon. Wait, have you guys seen that video? That's okay. Wait. Gotenks. Hello, Sona. I haven't had Wi-Fi, so yeah, I've been missing, sadly. That's okay, you know, it happens, life happens. I'm glad that you're back, and I hope to see you more often. Wait, Elisa, little nightmares scare me. Not only you're not the only one. It scared the shit out of me, but it was interesting. You know, the game is like just genius, you know. I love the game, but it still scared me, especially the first one when it's like suddenly was it 6? Yeah, 6 like just kind of went bonkers a little bit. Okay, right. Curious wine or sake? I do not kiss and tell, okay? That's gonna be a mystery. Okay. So today's story is from Georgia, as I said, and it's an unsolved case of a missing person, a disappearance, which actually turns into a murder case, and not in a way that you would expect, because usually I'm gonna explain it and I'm not gonna spoil it just yet, but it actually, when I was researching it, it actually took me by surprise, because I thought, okay, let's say I would read an intro to this case or articles and they would say like, oh, you know, the disappearance case, missing persons case turning into a full-on murder investigation. I was like, okay, this is kind of like the known pattern a person goes missing and then they are missing for quite a while and then they unfortunately turn up dead in suspicious circumstances. But no, this is not the case. You'll see. It's you know, it's a little bit different, and well, I mean, it's very different. And I was very surprised when I started reading it. I was like, wait a minute, that's what happened? Like, how? But yeah, we're gonna get into it right now, and let's see where this case is gonna take us. Let me switch to my murder board and let's get right into it. And let me know you guys if you can hear the music okay, and if you can hear me okay. And we can start. So the story I've got for you today is about a newlywed couple, or specifically about the new bride who suddenly vanishes in broad daylight, leaving a trail of bloody and chilling clues. And she has never been seen since. This is the story of Mary Shotwell Little. So, Mary Shotwell Little was a 24-year-old woman, considered very dependable and reliable in her community. She worked as a secretary at Citizen and Southern Bank, and which is today, this is the Bank of America. And the branch was located in downtown Atlanta. Counting up to October 14th, 1965, Mary had married, which is, I love how it sounds. Mary had married Roy Little only 6 weeks prior to the incident, and seemed to have been nothing but happy about her married life. That is, until she unexpectedly disappeared that very evening. So October 14th, 1965 was just another routine day in Mary's life. As she finished her shift at work, she decided to buy some groceries while in town, because she was planning a dinner party that upcoming Friday. Mary then met with a female coworker as they made plans to grab dinner together at the Lenox, I think that's how you pronounce it, Lenox Square Shopping Center, in the Buckhead area of Atlanta. Mary didn't go out much in particular that week because her husband was actually away on a business trip, and this was actually the only night out for her, so the only night she actually went out. The coworker testified that there wasn't anything particularly strange about Mary's behavior that night. On the contrary, she actually seemed very, very happy, very content with her and Roy's relationship and life as a married couple. So, after dinner, Mary and her friend went on a little window shopping spree until about around 8 p.m. when they then said goodbye and went their separate ways. Mary was last seen heading towards her car, a Mercury Comet, carrying her purchases, and a brown leather handbag. So there was nothing strange, right? She just headed home. Well, not quite. The following morning, Mary doesn't show up for work, and neither did she call in to inform her boss that she wouldn't be coming in at all. So her boss decided to call her, but no answer. Then they called Mary's apartment complex and spoke to the landlord, who actually informed the boss that Mrs. Shotwell Little's morning newspaper was still on the sidewalk. This immediately raised some red flags, and was definitely out of character for Mary to not show up at her workplace, and also for her to not be seen at her apartment building. The landlord was eventually asked to do a welfare check of sorts, because maybe Mary was actually at home, but maybe she just wasn't well, maybe she got sick, maybe she collapsed at home and, the previous evening, and since Roy wasn't around, he was away on a business trip, she just couldn't get any help. She couldn't ask for help. So the boss, obviously the co-workers, her friends, and the landlord, they all got worried. So the landlord enters Mary's apartment, but finds it empty. The female co-worker who had dinner with Mary the previous evening yet again confirmed that nothing seemed amiss. They had dinner, they shopped together, and then Mary headed for her car in the shopping center's yellow lot. That's it. The boss immediately called Lenox Square Mall, and he explained the situation and asked them to please check if Mary's car is still in the parking lot. Because maybe she felt unwell as she got to her car. Maybe she was fine up until that point, but for some reason she just got, sick when she got to her car. Maybe she fainted in the car and couldn't drive to her home and, ended up staying in the car overnight. But they checked and there was nothing. The car was not in the parking lot this morning. Here's the first strange thing. Mary's boss went to Lenox Square with the same female coworker to help him direct him to where she said Mary's car would be. And remember, the shopping center's security had already searched the parking lot that morning, and they reported not being able to locate the car. And yet, there it was. At around noon, Mary's car, Mercury Comet, was located in the exact spot the female coworker pointed to. The thing is, all cars arriving or leaving the Lenox Square's yellow lot are being noted and cited in the record. And, their license plate is being cited in the record. And Mary's car did in fact leave the lot at 8 p.m. on October 14th, so the previous night. Again, it was not found in the lot in the morning on October 15th, but then reappeared suddenly around noon. Though it was still not, the security claimed that the car is not cited, or this license plate is not cited in the record as they claimed, as it was the previous night. So the police actually never requested the security records to confirm any of those claims. So we don't really know for sure that this is what the record shows. Upon the examination of Mary's car, the police noted a coating of red dust on the outside, which apparently was red clay. As I mentioned, it's very common to Georgia. On the outside, there was no suspicious signs of any struggle, of any break-in, or anything else that would be out of place. But then, the investigators opened the car to look inside. So, Mary's grocery shopping bags were still inside the car, along with a pack of Kent cigarettes that Mary smoked, or she was known to be smoking, and some unspecified beverage bottles. The scene soon became concerning as the police found a pair of underwear and neatly folded and placed on the console. Also, on the floorboard, there was a bra and a single stocking, along with some grass scattered inside the vehicle. Interestingly enough, the single stocking that I mentioned, it actually had some cuts. It was cut up, as if someone used a knife to cut it. And the underwear found on the console was also it seemed like it was recently worn, and it was assumed to be Mary's. However, aside from all those undergarments, there was no sign of any other pieces of clothing that Mary had been wearing that night, like she was wearing the previous night. No chef dress or her white raincoat. Her handbag, the brown leather handbag that I mentioned before, her jewelry, and even car keys, all of this was also gone. They didn't find it. So the biggest and most disturbing red flag inside of the car were actually the blood stains or blood smears that were found on the mentioned underwear, as well as the driver's side on the door, on the handle, steering wheel, front bucket seats, and the passenger's side window. The police also found a bloody fingerprint on the steering wheel, but it could not be actually identified even when they sent it in for forensic analysis. The blood was later tested and it came out as type O, which actually matched Mary's blood type. The thing is, the amount of blood that was found in the car could be actually compared to that of a nosebleed, yet it just covered so many areas inside the car in a quite uncanny kind of smeared manner, which made police suspect that this was a staged scene. Let me quickly check the chat for a moment. Okay. IDK Bacon, it was the 60s. Everyone smoked. That's true. Tyrant, Fallout Nuke, just started. Oh, okay. Hi, Fallout. Sorry, I didn't notice. I'm so sorry. As I said, like, I missed the messages because I'm going through the case. Okay, Conservative Geek, canned cigarettes. I can imagine the commercial. No, it wasn't the canned cigarettes. Kent. Sorry, K-E-N-T. I'm sorry if I mispronounced it. Lost Nemesis. This is the first stream I've seen live. I subscribed just after the stream 2 weeks ago. Okay, awesome. And I'm glad to have you here. And I hope that you enjoyed the stream. Gakino, no comply. Yeah, smoking wasn't seen as that unhealthy yet. That's true, and people smoked in the car like all the time. Fallout Nuke. Tyrant, I've missed many streams because of work, which is funny since I'm at work now. So you decided to F it, you know, I am gonna watch this stream at all costs. Why 1N? I want to crack a joke so bad, but that would be in bad taste, I guess. Crack a joke, it's okay. Like, it's, you know, I crack jokes as long as it's not like very, very, you know, it's not disrespectful to the victim, that's fine. Game Leader, this case escalated quickly. That it did, and it gets weirder and weirder from then on, and I'm gonna get into it, but in a second. Wait, okay, Mary's hurt herself. We don't know. Actually, we don't know that. Okay, you don't have to apologize if you missed the chat. That's true, but I'm just like, you know, I feel bad because some people come here for the first time and they say hi, and I would love to say hello back to them and read their username, but you know, obviously it's bound to happen. I'm gonna miss some messages. Okay, it seems like okay, it's the Joshua. It seems like a self-harm case to me. Perhaps. We'll see. Lost Nemesis, and doctors recommended smoking. Jesus, that was terrible. What was happening in the I mean, it's the 60s. RJ Ramrod, Buzz make $1. I make a dime. That's why I watch Sona on company time. Oh, this is the best thing I've heard all day. Well, I mean, all week, actually. I thought we were amazing. My DNA analysis didn't exist yet. or wasn't existing yet. Ethan, I never heard of this case. Nice, okay, so you're gonna hear about it today. Imagine working when I could watch a cool stream. That's true. Like, I mean, that's a no-brainer. Okay, so let's get back into the case. So, as I said, the car was found. There's some folded underwear. Some, you know, some of it is stuck, like, rolled and stuck between the buck seats, actually. And then there are blood smears or blood stains all around the car, which is weird because, as I said, the amount of blood that was found would be compared to that of a nosebleed, and yet it was like covering so many areas that it just looked like it was either staged or it was just deliberate to place that, you know, that blood in those particular places. So we have Mary's car, we have her belongings, but there is no sign of Mary. That is until October 15th, the day after she was last seen. Her credit card was actually used at a gas station in Charlotte, in North Carolina, so completely different state, which was originally Mary's hometown. The car was used again 12 hours later on another gas station in, I think, Raleigh, in North Carolina again, even though the town is actually just 3 hours away by car from Charlotte. I think I'm pronouncing it correctly, Charlotte. But that's weird, right? Like the other town is only 3 hours away by car, and yet the card is used 12 hours later. But this time, someone signed off the card slip with Mrs. Roy H. Little Jr. It also appeared that the handwriting on the slip did belong to none other but Mary Shotwell Little, or at least the handwriting resembled her handwriting. When the gas station employees in both Charlotte and Raleigh were questioned about who used said card, they both did recall it was a young woman who, interestingly enough, had a small head injury and bloodstains on her head and legs. She was also not alone. There were two middle-aged men with her, and it seemed as if they were ordering her. The woman didn't ask for help, and she actually tried very hard to hide her face from the station employees. So that's weird. That's so weird. Like, you see, from the employee's standpoint, like, I don't know, I would immediately kind of, after maybe like when they went out of the station or they just left, I would immediately call the police, but they didn't. So when the slips were analyzed and the police had run the license plate number that was on the slip, it turned out to be a stolen vehicle. So it wasn't, you know, a license plate that belonged to Mary's car. The plate was a Charlotte, North Carolina one, and it was stolen in mid-October, so even before Mary's disappearance. Here's a theory, though. This stolen license plate might have been used on Mary's Mercury Comet during the time when it was gone from the Lenox Square that night, you know, on October 14th. And Mary's car was on Georgia's numbers, and Georgia's license plate. So what if whoever abducted Mary swapped the license plates and on her car to get out of the parking lot and not be cited in the so that Mary's car is not cited in the record in the registry, but then, you know, they swapped it back when the car returned. On October 17th, 2 days after Mary's disappearance, Roy Little, so Mary's husband, receives a strange phone call from someone named Calvin Allen. Roy did not know any Calvin Allen, nor had he ever heard of Mary knowing someone like that, someone with that name. The weird part is that over the phone, Calvin told Roy that he is praying for him and wants to give his condolences for Roy's loss. And that was strange, but it seemed like a lead, or at least it should have been, but we don't hear anything more about the mysterious caller that Roy allegedly spoke to. And here's the question: did he actually speak to someone like that? Or was it a distraction? You see, Roy was behaving rather strangely from the day. Sorry, that's not the part yet. So Roy was behaving strangely from the day when his wife disappeared. Maybe even earlier than that. For one, even though Mary was supposedly very happy in her relationship with Roy, it seemed that none of Mary's friends or family were big fans of Roy Little. Some of the friends even chose not to attend Mary's wedding for reasons that are undisclosed to this day. So he was just not very liked. When he was notified of his wife's disappearance and returned from the business trip, he apparently was more concerned about the car than about his wife. He would be very insistent to know when the car is gonna be returned to him from the forensic lab, and less so about where his wife was or if she was even alive. So while this whole thing with Mary's disappearance or Mary's appearance, sorry, in North Carolina was happening, and the weird call from Calvin Allen was happening, Roy actually purchased 2 tickets for the Atlanta Falcons game in the 1966 football season. He also contacted Rich's department store and told them he was not responsible for any of the charges on his wife's credit card or anything she might have purchased from them. Not only that, but when the police requested that he undergo a polygraph test, Roy Little refused. Twice. So he's not willing to really cooperate with the police. He is more concerned about the car than his wife. He's not really asking about her whereabouts. He's consistently asking when is the car gonna come back to him? When is he gonna get back the car from the forensic lab? And what's more, even though Roy seemed to have been very meticulous about keeping track of his and Mary's car's mileage logs, suddenly there is a 41 miles. There are like 41 miles on the I guess that's its odometer, and those 41 miles couldn't be accounted for. So up until that point, he was like keeping track of the mileage all the time, and he was very thorough about it. But then suddenly there's like a gap of 41 miles. And despite all of those suspicions and signs, weird signs surrounding Roy, he did have a solid alibi for the night of Mary's disappearance, as he was miles away on a business trip in, I think, oh god, I don't know how to pronounce it, but I think LaGrange, or I'm sorry if I mispronounced it, but he was still in Georgia, just completely different city. And because there was no clear evidence of his involvement, nor any signs of something bad happening in their marriage prior to Mary's vanishing, Roy was actually never named a suspect in Mary's case. And then something else happens. So Roy Little receives an anonymous ransom call, and whoever was on the line demanded $20,000 for Mary. The caller told Roy that he can find further instructions at an overpass in the, oh god, I'm so sorry, Pisgah National Forest in North Carolina. And I'm laughing while pronouncing it, because if it's pronounced Pisgah, that's kind of a weird word. In Polish, it's kind of not a swear word, but close, like kind of, like not the nicest word. So I'm just kind of like laughing about it a little bit. Okay, so the caller tells him that he demands $20,000 for Mary, and then he can find, as I said, further instructions if he goes to this national forest in North Carolina. The instructions would be posted on a sign. But then, instead of Roy, an FBI agent is sent to the designated place, and all he found was a blank piece of paper stuck to a sign. No further instructions, and no Mary. The caller never contacted Roy Little again and was never identified, so the whole incident was believed to be a cruel hoax. Then there's the stalker theory. See, Mary's friends and co-workers did tell the investigators that Mary had been receiving strange phone calls at home and at her workplace in the weeks before she went missing. Apparently, during one of such phone calls, she did tell the caller she was married and couldn't visit them anymore. And then she allegedly was heard saying, quote, "I'm a married woman now. I can't go there, but you can come to my house." End quote. Not only that, but a few days before she disappeared, Mary received a delivery of 5 roses. which was brought to her office and placed on her desk. Even though the florist shop where the flowers came from was actually located very near Mary's apartment complex. And friends also claimed that in those few weeks before October 14th, Mary did express that she was afraid to stay home alone, or to be in her car alone. She, however, never explained to anyone why she was afraid or felt unsafe. She did insinuate that to her coworkers a few days before the incident that she had something important to tell them, but she never got a chance to reveal what it was. The investigators did eventually follow up on the florist lead, so they didn't do it up until then, like, even though they knew the florist was suspiciously close, the shop was suspiciously close to Mary's apartment. But they did, follow up on that. Finally, on October 27th, they interviewed the owner of the shop, and indeed, there was an order placed for several roses for Mary Shotwell Little. But the invoice for said order turned out to be, conveniently missing, and none of the delivery people could recall delivering the roses. The shop clerk did actually remember that the client who made the purchase was a white male. However, the identity of Mary's secret admirer remains unknown, at least to the public. Like, that was never revealed. So publicly, the public doesn't really know, and we don't know if the investigation actually followed up and they found out who was the admirer. A few weeks into the investigation, detectives at Atlanta PD receive a phone call from an unidentified man who tells them that he knows something about Mary Shotwell Little. He knows who killed her and where they hid the body. He says that a man in his 40s who was frequently seen at the smokehouse on Ivy Street had killed Mary and buried her body on a vacant lot between Jamestown Shopping Center and a little diner on College Park, or in College Park District. Oh, okay, wait, someone followed. Someone subscribed. Okay, hi! The Pack of Wasabi Beans. I love that name too. Hi, thank you so much for subscribing. Okay, back to the case. So, as I said, this anonymous caller says that someone buried Mary's body in College Park area, and he knew that because, and he said to the investigator that the investigators that they will easily find the body because the foot is sticking up from the ground. And of course the police couldn't ignore this call. Could it be that they will find Mary buried in that lot? But when they searched the supposed place of the burial, they found nothing. So this was yet again another hoax. In the weeks following Mary's disappearance, there were actually numerous anonymous tips connected to the case, but didn't really push the investigation forward. Until on October 28th, someone over at CNS branch, so the Mary's workplace, the bank, found a note that said, quote, "Suggest you look for the missing woman in, oh god, Dalon. Oh god, I'm sorry, I can't pronounce it. How do you pronounce it? Dalonga? Dalonaga? I'm so sorry. If I mispronounced it, I'm sorry. So, said place is actually a small town quite a distance up north, which is about an hour away from Atlanta. Then, that same evening at 9:30 p.m., police gets a tip from a cook at the Royal Castle restaurant on Beaufort Highway in Atlanta, that he saw a woman, and the cook says that he saw a woman who looked like the missing Mary Shotwell Little, and she was at the restaurant with a tall, white male in his 30s. They stayed at the restaurant for about 30 minutes, argued quite loudly, and then they left. Wait, let me see the chat. Scholastica, you would think someone would notice a foot. I know, right? But there was nothing, so I guess it was just a hoax, as I said. Yeah, I saw a foot sticking out of the ground, but didn't think anything of it. Y1N. I mean, the caller, that's why the caller was like, hey, you guys might want to check that out. Ruben, hi, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm late, but we'll start from the beginning. Nice. Thank you. Conservative geek. Aight, I'ma head out. Good night, bye. Thanks so much for being here again. Right, well, you made it. Maria Gonzalez. Most be common. Hi, and thank you for being here again. Okay. Laciel, oh, okay. Sorry, I missed your messages before, but... hi, and I'm glad to see you here again. Okay, I say it like... Dalonega? I think, I'm sorry if I mispronounced it. Yeah. Hey, for the longest time I would just say Arkansas, so, you know, this is my English speaking capacity. I've got a case suggestion. Oh, IDK Bacon, yeah, like, sure. Just, you know, just drop it in the comments, or, you know, like, just drop it in the comments of a post or under this video, and I'll be sure to, you know, like, to check it out. Wait, David Leatherwood. Have you seen the show Unsolved Mysteries? I have. That's one of the shows that I binged, you know. Like there was the old version, and then there's like this, you know, the new version on Netflix. Hey, did you notice 50 people? Holy shit! Where you guys came from? Jesus. Okay, hi. I did not notice that it's 50 people. Holy bejesus. A lot of false alarms tips in the case. Oh. Wait for it, Scholastica, because this is just the first two. So, as I said, there was this one tip about, well, actually two tips about the, well, three, by now, sorry, I made a mistake. By now it's three tips. So one call about the body supposedly being buried at the vacant lot. Then the second one is about the note at Mary's workplace. And then the third one is well, I mean, it's not a false alarm. This was a tip from a cook at the, you know, at the restaurant, and he said that he saw someone who might have looked like Mary, but again, there's no confirmation that it was actually Mary. And then there's another tip. So on November 2nd, there was another anonymous call that Mary's body was located in a rock quarry in Whitesburg, Georgia. Although the area was definitely not the safest, and it is known to be a place where quite a few cars ended up falling off the 180-foot drop, Mary's body was never found there, nor like any car or anything, any signs that she would have been there. Then the next tip came in on November 3rd, and it was a letter in which the author states that Mary Mary visited an attorney's office in Jacksonville, Florida. And that was shortly after she got married to Roy Little. She allegedly was accompanied by several women and told the attorney that she had married Roy only to spite her boyfriend, who worked as a trucker, and she actually came to Jacksonville to see him. And said attorney was contacted by the Atlanta PD, but he stated he had no recollection of this event, nor of ever meeting Mary in the first place. So this case is going off the rails. Like, there are those elaborate stories that are coming in as tips, people saying that they've seen Mary, and this is just going kind of spiraling out of control, you know. Like, now there's a story that she actually didn't love Roy. She didn't marry him out of love. She married him to, I don't know, to spite some mysterious boyfriend who conveniently was a trucker, and he was like living in Florida. And then there's another tip. So this other tip comes in on November 10, 1965, and it was from a woman. So a woman from the nearby Gwinnett County contacted the police, and she told them that her husband confessed that him and a few other men abducted Mary that night on October 14th, and they took her to a dead-end road outside of Beaufort, and then they murdered her. She said that her husband told her that they cut up Mary's body on a picnic table, and the parts the parts they were thrown into Lake Lanier. Man, this is I'm sorry, but like reading these tips, I know I've been researching them and I've been writing down those notes. But reading this, like, you know, kind of going through the notes right now and remembering all the facts that I've read, it's getting so crazy. And I'm gonna tell you why I think those tips kept coming in, because there was a reward of $1,000 for any information about Mary's whereabouts or Mary's location or anything significant to the case. So people are so greedy. They are coming up with all those stories to just, I don't even know, to have a chance to, you know, to get that money, to get their hands on the money. So in this tip, this time the police, you know, when the police officers were dispatched to check, because they had to check all those tips, right? They have to confirm, they have to know that this, you know, they have to know if this tip is legit, if they're gonna find something, because anything can be a clue. So it's additionally cruel, you know, like to call in with false tips, with false facts, because that just stretches the police, and they have to be sent over, and it just wastes time. So as I said, this time when the police officers were dispatched to check on the mentioned location and alleged, you know, crime scene, they did in fact find a cement picnic table. And right there on the surface, there were large stains that could look like remains of blood and someone trying to clean it. So obviously they sent the samples to forensic scientists, to the lab, to be tested, and you know, the results came back and it was not blood. That's it. You know, this tip was another hoax. And I can't imagine how the family of Mary's family, yeah, Mary's husband, how they felt. Although the husband, I don't know, the husband cared more about the car, so I don't know. But how Mary's family felt when, you know, all those tips are coming in, they are getting their hopes up. They hear from the police like, okay, we have this tip. It seems like it would be something that could happen. We're gonna check it. And then it just turns out that it's another dead end, and it, you know, they are back to square one. So, oh god, okay. So we have another tip. On November 15th, something else happens. A teacher at West Fulton High School in Atlanta is approached, or she says that she was approached by a man while she was shopping at Rich's department store, which, if you remember, that's the store that Mary frequented, or she was like frequently seen at. So the weird man, talks to her about Mary's case, saying that he was out of Atlanta when the whole incident happened and he just returned, which, I mean, has nothing to do with the case, but okay. He added that it is so easy to commit a murder and get away with it, and that Atlanta is known to have a lot of similar unsolved murders. Mind you, not only is it completely not confirmed that Mary is dead at this point, like we had no indication aside from, yeah, like maybe some bloodstains in her car, that she is injured but not dead. But this man was just a complete stranger, randomly approaching, you know, this teacher, and randomly approaching, like, basically whoever. He doesn't know this woman, but he approached her and just strikes up a conversation about a missing person and speaks of her as if she were already confirmed to be deceased, and also says weird shit about, like, oh, it's easy to commit a murder in Atlanta. and no one's ever gonna know. There's just so many unsolved cases, like this is just another one of them. Which is like, what? How do you do that? Do you do that to people? No. Like, how do you think that's normal? Do you think that sounds legitimate? Do you think... I don't know. Yeah, so that was... I'm sorry, I'm getting kind of like hyped. I'm getting kind of like annoyed and just pissed about this particular guy, you know? This particular tip really pissed me off. So obviously the teacher, you know, the woman did report this exchange to the police, and they were actually able to identify the man. Turns out that he was at Lenox Square on October 14th, so on the day when Mary went missing, but he denied any involvement in Mary's case, and it doesn't seem like there's anything more about this man. So unless we just don't know, unless it wasn't released to the public, I guess he didn't have anything to do with this case, but he just thought... I don't even know what he thought, because if he wanted the money for... you know, the reward for the information, he would have just... I don't know, he would have called the police himself? I just don't know what the point of this exchange was. Wait, Laciel, he's boasting his murder skills. Hey, I don't... See, that's the weird part. Like, I don't even know what was his point. Right, IDK about back then, but now Atlanta's really dangerous. I mean, 1960s, honestly, there was like a lot of serial killers, and it was harder to track them, harder to DNA test for anything. So I think it was like as dangerous as it is. Dersey Do seems legit to me, but then again, I am as graceful as a frog in social situations. Hey, a frog can be very graceful, you know, when they're hopping around. Atlanta isn't the safest city. That can be said about a lot of cities and around the world, honestly. But yeah, I get your point. Like, I hear about Atlanta not being the safest. But I don't even know. This was like a very pointless conversation, and it's like, if I would understand it if he was the one calling the police and his objective was just, you know, clearly, even though the tip was fake, his objective would be to, okay, I want that reward, you know, like I want some money for the information, even if it's fake. But it wasn't like he just told a random stranger, a random person. Technology really helps now. Yeah, that's true, Maria. Yeah, like, you know, in the 60s, back in the day, the testing was just not elaborate. Like, they could maybe identify someone by a fingerprint if they were on the record, or they could identify the, you know, the blood type perhaps, but like not really match it with anyone. So that's kind of, or they needed a certain amount of DNA to be able to match it to someone. It sounds okay, RJ, it sounds to me like the point is to plant even more disinformation. Man, that's such a curse. That's such a freaking curse, you know? Like, some people are just like, I don't know, they are bored, they have nothing going on in life, and they just decide, okay, I'm gonna you know what, I'm gonna mess with it. I fucking hate it. I'm gonna mess with this investigation, you know, and just plant some, I don't know, spill some like fake rumors and see where this goes. Some people are just heartless. Okay, Lost Nemesis. I can say one thing with personal experience: the cops in Atlanta are absolutely garbage at figuring out cases. Yeah, I see. Oh god. Okay, I hear so many. I hear so many cases like that when it's not even. Yeah, it might be like Atlanta might be particularly bad, but I don't know. Like, surprise. What did cops just simply suck in the 1960s, 70s? Because I hear all the time all those cases I look into that are from the 60s, from 70s. Same with the Zodiac case or Bundy case. Like, they sucked at first. Like, they sucked. They just didn't know what they were doing. Okay, IDK Bacon said, I mean, there was lead in gasoline for lead in gasoline for cars that were horribly inefficient. Every day things were toxic, so probably missing some brain cells. I mean, yeah, if lead was used in gasoline, then yeah, definitely in petrol. Damn. Okay, Lost Nemesis said, don't let anyone you know go there, because if something happens, you'll never find out. Duly noted. I will likely not visit Atlanta unless I have like an elephant on a leash and an army of, I don't know, Secret Services or security guys. Security guards. Okay, Maria said, I feel like they just didn't care. You know what? That is valid, because if Atlanta was bad back then, and is bad even now, then it's possible that they are swarmed with like different cases. They have, yeah, like, you know, harsh to say this, but they have a lot of cases and they just don't have time for all of them. And they just, you know, they kind of dilute their forces, and it just, you know, the investigations just end up not being very thorough. Okay, and RJ, okay, wait. Dersey Do said, that or this murder could be a group of effort. It would be pretty big brain for one person to murder while everyone else plans this information to muddy the waters, to make it real hard to solve the murder. That's true. Like, it's just additionally difficult task. Okay, and then RJ said, no, I don't think this was some random guy. I'm looking at this from the perspective of what you might want to do if you were CIA and wanted to keep anyone from finding out what really happened to Mary. Yeah, and that's actually one of the theories, that something shady was happening in her workplace and in the town, or in the police force. I'm gonna talk about it a little bit later, but you know, for now we're at the tips stage. So wait. Okay, so as I said, you know, like, we have this situation with the teacher and this random guy who just talks about all this weird shit and just tells her. She reports it to the police, but, you know, nothing really comes out of it. The man is not really identified, or at least not that we know of. And as these tips keep coming, the Georgia Crime Lab sends out their opinion on the evidence gathered from Mary's car. And they said that the bra, according to them, the bra found on the floorboard was actually forcibly removed, but there was no blood found on it. And aside from that, any blood found on the other articles of clothing was likely placed there after the items were folded and placed between the bucket seats and on the console. Same with the blood on the seats. It was deliberately smeared as if to stage the whole scene. And then the story gets, again, kind of out of hand and even more complicated. So a few weeks pass, then a few months pass, and still no sign of Mary. Then in September 1966, so almost a year, that's almost a year after she disappeared, there's an inmate named Larry Stargell. I think that's how you pronounce it, his name, Stargell. So he is serving a life sentence for a murder conviction, and he suddenly asks to speak with the police about Mary's case. He is interviewed immediately and tells the detectives that before his sentence, him and two or three other men would commit burglaries in the College Park area. And then one night, after drinking one too many drinks, one of these men that, you know, were with Larry, the man was called Jerry Mason. He took Larry to the Atlanta airport, and using one of those, you know, telescopes that the airports usually have at their viewpoint, Jerry points to a construction site and tells Larry that this is where Mary's body is buried. Jerry also confessed that he had been paid by someone to kidnap Mary and kill her. So the Atlanta PD contacts the airport right away and gets permission to investigate the area near runway 33. where supposedly Mary's body was buried. One of the airport employees stated that back in November 1965, so a year prior, he discovered a freshly dug hole that was recently covered with dirt, and it was in that very area. So that seemed like a valid reason to dig up the place, right? Like, we have a tip from this like convict, who was, you know, he is in prison already for murder, and that's the tip that, oh, okay, he knows, you know, he knows some shady people. He knows a guy who admitted to murdering Mary, to kidnapping her and murdering her. And then we have a testimony from the airport employee who said like, oh yeah, I saw something that looked like a disturbed soil back a year ago. So this is valid, this is legitimate, right? The problem is, and this should be investigated, this place, but the problem is that since November 1965, the whole area had been washed away and had a rock placed on it. So the construction company would need clearance to dig it up. And that's it. I don't even think that they actually moved any of that. They didn't really, I don't know, they didn't even try to get the clearance. And then a month later, on October 12th, Larry Stargell is interviewed again by the FBI, and he writes a statement, writes a few pages, and on each page he writes his initials, but then he refuses to sign it. And not only that, but what he told the FBI was actually vastly different from what he told the Atlanta PD a month prior. So his story changes completely. Now he claims that on October 14th, 1965, he did go to Lenox Shopping Center with Jerry Mason, so the same person, and one other man. And they went there in order to see the new James Bond movie, which played at 4:30 p.m. Then Jerry Mason and the other man left, asking Larry to wait for them at the cinema until they return, which they did actually return around 8 p.m. And Mason was carrying a large paper shopping bag, and Larry noticed that Mason had what looked like blood stains on his sleeve and his pants. Then Jerry Mason told Larry that he needs to leave because he's gotta meet another man in Mount Holly in North Carolina at 9 p.m. So in an hour, in this like completely different state. And then a week later, Jerry returned and came to a movie theater or cinema where Larry Stargell worked. And he shows him a large sum of money, $5,000. And he said that he got the money for kidnapping this one woman a while ago. Then he pulled out a C&S bank charge card with Mary's name on it. 3 weeks later, or 3 weeks after that, Jerry Mason return, he returns again with another man and, shows up again at Larry's workplace. They take Larry to a secluded house in Mount Holly, North Carolina. So remember, that place that Jerry said, oh, I have to meet another person, or I have something to do at Mount Holly. So Jerry and the other man take Larry to Mount Holly in North Carolina, and there, as Larry claimed, he saw a woman in that secluded house, in that cabin. The woman had her hands and feet tied, and she was also bruised all over her arms, neck, and face. And there was a bandage cloth wrapped around her right eye, so wrapped over her right eye, and she was being held hostage. Then Larry says that 3 days later he joined Jerry and his male friend in a car, and they had the woman with them in the backseat. They were heading back to Atlanta. Larry said that as he drove the car within a 30-minute drive, the other man, so not Jerry was sitting in the passenger seat, the other man was sitting in the backseat with the woman. He suddenly started stabbing the woman and killed her right then and there. Also, I'm sorry, but my voice is kind of... I'm losing my voice slowly. Jesus Christ. Let me read some chat for now. Sonikero, hi! Live and learn, yeah, that's true. Hi, and thank you so much for tuning in. And then Charles White, hi, thank you so much for being here. I think I've... Wait, is this your first time? Yeah, I think so, right? I know a little Spanish. Nice. I do not know any Spanish. Ethan Ramos, odd, very odd. Yeah, it is. The story is just spiraling out of control completely. Laciel, how much did they get paid for the kidnapping? Was it worthwhile, or was it a few pennies and they just took her credit card? It seems like it was $5,000. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how much would it be. Like, it would be more in I guess in today's money, possibly. Okay. Okay, yeah, let's please keep it to English, like the live chat. That escalated quickly. I know, right? Like, suddenly they are driving. It's just a 30-minute drive from Mount Holly in North Carolina to Atlanta, and this guy in the backseat just suddenly starts stabbing Mary and or stabbing the woman, the, you know, mysterious woman, and just kills her. Okay, so let me get back to the case. Although the police never revealed the identity of that other man, the FBI did discover who he was and found out that he actually works for the City of Mount Holly Water Department, and that on the night of October 14th, 1965, he actually worked a full shift from 7:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., as well as a 5-hour shift the next day. So it would be physically pretty much impossible for him to be at Lenox Square or at the mall back in Atlanta at 4:30 on October 14th. So this was a dead end. You know, this man couldn't have been there. Larry's story was pretty much bonkers. It was just, you know, it wasn't true. You know, maybe perhaps Larry was trying to insert himself because he was in prison. Maybe he was trying to insert himself into this case with a quote-unquote helpful, you know, some helpful information, and maybe he was trying to make a deal with the police to get his sentence lifted, to get a lighter sentence, I don't know, to get some years off his sentence. But that's, you know, Mary's case yet again goes pretty much cold. And I'm sorry, but I have to like cough a little bit. My voice is just getting so weird. So now this case, you know, Mary's case has gotten cold. It's getting kind of hopeless, pretty much. Like the family is, they are very distraught. They can't get any other information about Mary. Those fake tips keep coming in. Nothing of it is true. And they are slowly losing hope. And then something else happens. A few weeks after Mary's vanishing, her position and her desk at you know, the CNS bank is taken by someone else, a woman named Diane Shields. So Diane was originally from Alabama, but decided to move to Georgia after a painful breakup with her college boyfriend, who soon married someone else, and that was a huge blow to, you know, for Diane. She initially lived with a roommate, but in November 1965, the roommate actually moved out, and Diane was left alone in the apartment. One night, a man claiming to be selling books came over to Diane's apartment and started banging on the door, asking her to open up. She was freaked out, she was scared, and refused to open, which turned out to be a good call because the man quickly became aggressive, and he told her that he knows that she lives alone and that her roommate moved out. Before the police arrived at the scene, because Diane called them, the man was gone and left Diane terrified. Despite that, Diane stayed in that apartment until June 1966, when she finally moved to a different place with several roommates. She actually ended up sharing a room with a woman named Judy, who, as it turns out, used to be Mary's roommate before she married Roy. Judy also worked at the same place, at CNS Bank, or Bank of America today. Oh, sorry, there's... Okay, hi, Anonymous, subscribed. Thank you so much for subscribing. Okay, so as I said, Diane rooms up, like she shares a room with Judy, who, coincidentally, she used to be Mary's roommate as well. And at the same time, Diane started dating a man at her workplace, and they've been together for a couple of months. I think they started dating from January 1966. But eventually the relationship fell apart, and that left Diane severely depressed, to the point where she decided to end her own life by taking a fistful of sleeping pills. And miraculously, she survived. When October 1966 rolled around, nearing a one-year anniversary of Mary's disappearance, Diane suddenly quit her job at CNS and started a new job at Associated Industries of Georgia. Was it? Wait. Yeah, Industries of Georgia. The same month, so also in October 1966. On October 26, 1966, Diane receives a bouquet of 5 roses, delivered in a box and left on her desk. One of Diane's co-workers said that when they asked Diane about the secret admirer, she responded that she did not know the name written on the card attached to the flowers. And Diane also did mention to her friends and co-workers that she was looking into Mary's disappearance on her own, and she knew about the roses that Mary received before she went missing, because if you remember, Mary also received 5 roses delivered on her desk at her workplace, even though the flower shop was very near her apartment building. So, as I said, Diane is kind of looking into Mary's disappearance on her own. She sees those signals, she also received the roses. She knew about Mary's roses, but, Diane at first didn't really want to call the police about her flowers. She was like, okay, this is a coincidence. Maybe it's just someone, doing a prank, because I used to work at the same place where Mary worked and at her desk, essentially. So later, Diane apparently told her co-workers that she did end up calling the police, who then managed to track the secret admirer down. It was a former employee at CNS who was fired after multiple harassment instances at his former workplace. He claimed he sent Diane the flowers because he was, quote-unquote, thinking about her. And the same month, Diane moved to a new place with one of her previous roommates, but according to that roommate, she would rarely be home. She was also involved with a young man named Tommy Allen. Wait, is it Tommy? Oh god, I think I messed it up. It might be Tommy Antle. Okay, let me check. I think I messed up something, and I might have messed up the name. And yeah, Tommy. Oh, sorry. Okay, I messed up the name. Why did I think about... Okay, so this is the name. That's the name of Diane's new boyfriend, who is Tommy Antle. And he supposedly worked for a life insurance company. Okay, RJ, the number of coincidences in this case is just insane. It is. Like, this is getting so twisted, so complicated, and at the same time, it's kind of coming together in weird coincidences. Blue Kirby Productions. Coincidence? I think not. Preach. That is true. Wait. Blue Kirby Productions said, these are the questions the people need to know. why am I seeing Lost Nemesis saying, I like whiskey more than wine, mainly because I've only had one good wine. It was a red. Hey, I mean, I'm a wine person. Whiskey is fine too. It's Tommy. We know that much. No, it's okay. Okay, to be clear, it's Tommy Antle. I just, I think I was thinking about Calvin Allen, you know, the previous guy, who, the anonymous caller, and I just got confused for some reason, and in my notes and on in the file, I just like wrote Tommy Allen. But it's Tommy Antle, and he, as I said, he worked for a life insurance company. So then Diane, at the same time, when she started dating Tommy, she also started receiving strange phone calls. 2 of them were from a man who said he worked for the post office and had a registered letter for Diane. He wanted to verify her address and then asked her to meet him in person to pick the letter up. When the postal service company was contacted regarding that employee, they confirmed that they do have an employee with the same last name, but he actually worked nowhere near Diane's local post office. He worked way downtown. So there's no reason for him to call Diane. There's no reason for him to have a registered letter in her name. And certainly there's no reason for him to meet Diane in person to give her the letter. So on December 2nd, Diane calls out sick. She also told her boyfriend, Tommy, that she was going to visit a friend in College Park, but didn't want to tell him who the friend was. And then on New Year's Eve, Diane and Tommy got engaged. Oh, another someone, okay. Okay, I'm sorry if I mispronounced it, but Raven Muse Wolf Song subscribed. Thank you for the sub, and welcome. Okay, so as I said, Diane and Tommy were dating up until that point, and on December 2nd, 1967, it seems, they got engaged. Or was it 66 or 60? No, sorry, 66. Sorry, December 2nd, 1966, they got engaged. So after, or sorry, not December 7th. What am I talking about? On New Year's, they got engaged. So New Year's Eve, from 1966 to 67, they were engaged. Okay, now that we're clear about that, let me read some chat. Gakino, no comply. Tommy is Tommy. We good. Nice. Tyrant, Fear, we're had a whole talk about what you drink. Oh god, I'm gonna, after this stream is done, I'm gonna like rewatch it and just like read all the chat conversations, and I'm just probably gonna see a lot of shit talk about me. Thank you. Oh, this is a PowerPoint. That's cool. No, it's actually not a PowerPoint, but yeah. It's actually in Clip Studio. Okay, right. Half their chats talking about what you drink. The other half talking about the case. Okay, I drink tea, okay? Tea. It's immortality. What wine do you drink? I usually just go for red wine. If I go for white, I taste like I kind of drink different types of wine. I don't have a favorite, actually. I think I don't have a favorite. Usually the red wine is a little bit better to me, but I don't know. Maybe I'm a snob and I just snob on you know, white wine. Okay, Maria Gonzalez said, only Canada case I know of is Luca Magnotta, or yeah, I know, that's from Don't Fuck with Cats, or With the Cats. That was a terrible case. I fucking hate it. To this day, it just like, you know, gives me chills. Okay, game leader. That's a huge red flag. It is. Wait, what was? I got lost. Elisa, there's one case in Canada called the 8-day bride, when a bride mysteriously died during her honeymoon. Oh, okay. I haven't heard about that one. I have to... No, I think I heard the title. This title sounds familiar, but I have to look into it. So thanks for the tip. I'm definitely gonna check it out because the title sounds interesting. Okay, Scholastica. Fake mailman sucks at faking being a mailman. That's true. Like, he didn't think it through, I guess. Okay, Lost Nemesis said... Wait, Tyrant says, IDK why though? Wait, non-comply uses CSP for this. What? Okay. Okay, Lost Nemesis. It's so infuriating to know someone got away with it. And this is gonna get... You guys are gonna be very, very frustrated and annoyed by the end of this case. Okay, so let's... Is it hydration check yet? I wish I don't have... Okay, I think I should not, you know, hydrate, quote unquote, hydrate that much. And I'm not gonna say why. Okay, we got it, people. I have come back with chips. Nice. What chips? I hope they are Cheetos. Clip Studio, you draw too? Yeah, I drew, I made my own model. I drew my model. So, hey, this is my art coming from my hands. Art stream soon? Maybe, I don't know, because honestly, I can't draw and talk on stream. Because like, if I'm gonna talk, I'm not gonna, you know, draw. I don't know why, like I can't do a multitasking like that. Alrighty, back to the case. So, where was I? Okay, so as I said, Tommy and Diane get engaged on New Year's Eve 1967. After several months, Diane moved in with her older sister, Sandra, and in March 1967, due to some issues with her roommates, which were apparently connected to her engagement to Tommy. And on Friday, May 19th, 1967, Diane has finished her shift at AIG and left work at 5:03 p.m. and was seen leaving her workplace by AIG's assistant vice president on her way out. And he would remember that because, like, he distinctly remembered that moment because he was also late for the dinner with his wife. So he just like recalls Diane leaving at that particular time. He was also checking the time constantly because of this, you know, his appointment. Diane then got into her car and pulled out of the parking lot onto Washington Street and headed west on Hunter Street. At 6 p.m., Tommy tried calling her, but there was no response. Then he called at 7 p.m. and then at 8 p.m. He also contacted Sandra, Diane's sister, who returned home from work at 5 p.m., but she said Diane wasn't there. Tommy drove to the AIG office after his 8 p.m. call to Diane, which, you know, to no surprise, the office was already closed and the whole building was dark. No sight of Diane or her car. He went to Diane's and Sandra's place at 8:40 p.m., but still, no Diane. He started panicking, since she never told him anything about going out that evening or meeting anyone. He feared the worst. Maybe she got into a car accident and was in the hospital. Maybe she was in a, you know, very bad shape. Maybe something like even worse happened. But then he called around any hospitals in the area he could think of, asking for Diane. Nothing. He also called the police to report Diane missing, but because it was 1967, the police sucked and still had that idiotic rule that you had to wait at least 24 hours before they could actually accept the missing persons report and they could actually announce this person missing, which is just a bunch of bollocks. And you know, that rule should not exist, and thankfully now it doesn't exist. Like, you can, if you have any serious suspicions about a person going missing, then you can report them missing and they are gonna be investigated as a missing person immediately. Or at least that's the rules now, right? But previously they would actually dismiss you and tell you, okay, you have to wait 24 hours. Some rules said 48 hours to report someone missing, which is, that's precious time, you know. That's very, like, every minute from this person going missing, that's every minute counts. So it was like such a stupid rule. I know there were cases where the person would turn up okay, or they ran away from home, or they were with a, you know, safe with a friend or a relative or someone, but it's just not a good rule. I just fucking I hated that rule. So as I said, the police tells Tommy that he can't really report Diane missing until, you know, 24 hours have passed. And then midnight rolled in, and Diane was still not home. Tommy contacted one of Diane's co-workers at 1 a.m. and she told him about seeing Diane when she left work at 5 p.m. and that there was nothing out of place about her. She was as happy and as normal as always. At 1:30 a.m., an acquaintance said that they saw Diane with Judy, her former roommate, that evening at the Waffle House on Central Avenue in Atlanta. And at 1:50 a.m., Sandra and Tommy called the College Park PD again and report Diane missing, as well as report her car stolen. Then, at 2:30 a.m., two officers in charge of patrolling the area of East Point noticed a car parked alongside the East Point Cleaners and Laundry building. The keys were still in the ignition, and the car matched the description of the stolen 1963 blue Chevy. Then they inspected the car and found a trail of half-dried liquid that seemed to be blood, and the liquid was seeping from the trunk onto the road, the asphalt. They opened the trunk and found what everyone feared the most. Diane's body, face up, on her back, shoved between some cardboard boxes and a spare tire. She was still fully dressed in the same outfit she wore earlier that day, except she did not have her shoes on. The diamond engagement ring that Tommy gave her was still on her finger. The investigators didn't find any indication of sexual assault or robbery because everything else was on her. Everything else was in her possessions. Everything was in her car. But they determined that Diane died of suffocation. A scarf had been shoved right down her throat. By the time her body was transported to the Fulton County morgue, it was determined that Diane Shields had been dead for approximately 4 hours. Aside from the primary cause of death being suffocation, she appeared to have been very badly beaten, and her left ear was even severely torn. During the investigation, a friend of Diane's told the police that Diane was scared after receiving all those strange phone calls, as well as receiving the flower delivery that I talked about before, and that she, ever since, she had been working with the police department with Mary Shotwell, about Mary Shotwell Little's case, ever since those flowers, ever since the phone calls, as the circumstances with those were just strangely similar, as well as both Diane's and Mary's workplace was the same. So it was just so many coincidences, and she was getting into that same situation as Mary, or so it seemed. Detectives on the case also believed that Diane's roommate, the woman named Judy, who was previously also Mary's roommate, possibly knew more about both cases that she was letting on. And Judy herself told the police that, quote, the girls who worked at the bank were quite jealous of Diane, since she was attractive, she was young, attractive, and was receiving apparently a lot of attention from men around her. Judy also claimed that at one point, Diane would borrow a gun from one of her friends, and she would sometimes just hold on to it whenever she would be home alone that night. So then on June 9th, a man named Jack Molinax, or Molina, I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, but anyway. So Jack came forward and told the police that he saw Diane's blue Chevy on the day of her disappearance, between 7:30 p.m. and 8:30 p.m., and that he also saw two unidentified men inside of it. Then he says he was followed by an unknown man at 3 p.m. and then at 5 p.m. another man forced himself into Jack's car and held him at... Wait, was it 3 p.m. or a.m.? Jesus, okay, I'm messing up the timeline. Oh, I guess it was the next day. So he was followed by another, like an unknown man at 3 p.m. And then at 5 p.m., you know, the man actually forced himself into Jack's car and he had a gun. So Jack was at gunpoint. And then the man told him to drive to Henry County. There, Jack is forced out of the car and the man actually shot him. Jack said that the guy could have been the same man he saw in Diane's car the previous day. But later, Jack actually completely retracted his story, this whole story, and confessed that he actually shot himself because of his debts. So this was a whole lot of baloney. And Jack was just, I don't know, jumping on the occasion of like, I don't even know. I don't even understand what was the point of this whole charade where Jack is like talking about, oh, I saw the man in this murdered lady's car, and then one of them actually shot me. And suddenly he just like takes it all back, and he says like, oh, I shot myself. Whatever. Terrible. So there's another theory for why Mary disappeared and Diane was brutally killed. A man named Clarence Lee Crumbly. Oh, okay, we have another subscriber. Wait, no, what? Donation? Oh my god, IDK Bacon. Okay, IDK Bacon wait, what? What? Two donations. Okay, IDK Bacon made two donations, and first one was hug me please. I am sending you a hug. Big hug for you. And because it messed up my name on screen for my last donation, I like your stream. Ah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for donation, guys. And Bacon, thank you so much for this donation. Man, I'm losing my voice. Thank God we're almost done with the case, but like, okay. So as I said, there was another theory, you know, about the disappearance of Mary and the murder of Diane. So there's a man called Clarence Lee Crumbly, and he used to work at the same bank as Diane and Mary. And he tells the police that he believed these two cases to be connected and tied to the personnel department of CNS. He claimed the bank was in huge debt and that there was some personal issues. He said that he told Judy that he was scared, and shortly after he got fired from his job. So he confessed to Judy that, oh, what he knew kind of about those quote-unquote personnel issues. But that's pretty much it. I guess there was nothing to follow up on. There's just this one kind of confession, but you know, this was thrown out there that those two cases are connected. And then another year passed, and then another one. And no other clues came up in either Mary's or Diane's case. Interestingly enough, at one point, Mary's case file also vanished, and no one could tell what happened. Some detectives started believing that Mary could have staged her own disappearance, but they couldn't find the reason why. Because Mary was apparently happy with Roy, or at least appeared happy. She was happy with her job. Some actually believe, and there were rumors, that Mary got tangled in the bank's shady business and that Diane ended up in the same situation after getting invested in Mary's case. There was reportedly FBI agents that were hired to investigate CNS after receiving numerous tips about harassment and actually prostitution circle that was, just going on, happening under the umbrella of the company of the bank. But, that's still a little far-fetched. I don't know, there wasn't any other evidence to confirm it. And then, do you remember that Mary seemed happy with her life? Not only that, but she was also still employed by the bank on the day of her disappearance and didn't seem to be making any plans to leave her job, unlike Diane, because Diane actually left the job at CNS and got another job at AIG. But not Mary, right? Like, Mary was still employed, and she didn't show any signs of not being happy with her job, or being scared to come to work. So she was making no plans to leave. If something as extreme as prostitution or harassment was happening there, wouldn't she want to at least quit? If she was afraid, or even if she was afraid of reporting them, if she didn't want to report the bank to the police because she was afraid of some repercussions or something, or consequences, maybe she just wanted, she would have left, but she didn't. So this is just a rumor, this is just a little bit too far-fetched, but who knows, maybe there was a shady business. Clarence, the guy who used to work at CNS, he said he was talking about some major debts that the bank was under, and he was also talking about some quote-unquote personnel issues, but who knows, maybe he also found out about the harassment and he was fired. So the police didn't really follow up on that, and we don't know what actually happened, what was happening. Wait, I see that Elisa is actually leaving, so hi, bye, thank you so much for being here today. Okay, so in conclusion, even though in 2017 the case was actually somewhat reopened, or those two cases are reopened and taken upon by a team of former investigators, and they were in cooperation with the Atlanta PD and prosecutors, the cases of Mary Shotwell Little's disappearance and Diane Shields' murder still remain unsolved to this day. And this is all we know. At least for today, this is all we know. This is all we've got, and we can only hope that the investigation will continue. It will not be closed, and they will use, the modern technology, the current technology or testing methods to maybe find out something new. Okay, and that is it for the case. Let me just take a quick moment to thank all of my Patreons for supporting my work and for tuning in for our private bonus content, bonus true crime streams on Patreon. So thank you so much, Tyrant Kitsune, Colonel Turtle, Zinc, Scholastica Parable, CW, and I'm sorry if I mispronounced the name, but Esau Buenrostro. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. Fear, you liar. I was on that art stream. You can draw and talk. I wasn't drawing though. On that live stream, I was... Okay. There was an art live stream on Patreon. And somewhat, because I was prepping my... this VTuber model. I was just prepping the file. And I was talking. I was working and talking. But it wasn't drawing. I was just messing with the layers and Okay, let me go back to the chat. The chat room. So this is all we know about Mary and Diane's case, unfortunately. And as I said, it was not the murder case that, you know, you would expect. Like you would think it's, oh, the disappearance case, you know, turns out to be murder. But no, it was actually two separate cases that were connected. I believe that they are connected. Wait, okay. Oh damn, I forgot to join that this week. Yeah. So actually on Patreon, we have bonus true crime live streams. Initially, I wanted to do it 2 times, like I wanted to test it and go 2 times a month, but I decided this is gonna be a weekly thing. So from now on, every week, I will be having a bonus true crime live stream over on my Patreon every Friday. So every Friday night, Pacific time, I'm gonna be discussing another case for patrons only. If you want to support my work, and if you want to join, you know, those bonus streams and just hang out over on Patreon, just go there. All the links are in the description of this video, so you can just go ahead, open that, you know, the description, and you can find it there. I'll be nicer now. Lol. So aside from that, next week, I actually want to do a test run of a new segment for this channel, which is gonna be me reading a scary story sent in by you guys or found on Reddit. And yeah, as I read, you know, I'm gonna reveal at the end if this story is real or not, if it's real or if it's made up. So, you know, as this stream goes, you guys can discuss and you guys can actually guess whether or not this story is true. Yeah. But if you want to send in your stories, you can send it over to this email that Tyron just posted. It's fearsonaofficial@gmail.com. You can also find it in the description as well. So IDK Bacon, shit, weekly? Probably gonna do that after I drop my cases suggestion in the comments. Please do. Please do. Yes, but yeah, from now on, the live streams, the true crime bonus live streams are gonna be weekly on Patreon. So we're gonna have a case on Friday on Patreon, and then a case on Saturday or Sunday here on YouTube for everyone. So yeah, if you want that, you know, additional cases, if you want to hear more from me, you can just, you know, head over on to Patreon and subscribe and support my coffee/immortality addiction and biscuit addiction. But yeah, wait, okay. Y1N. By the way, do you cover organized crime stories? Sure, I can, you know, like I do prefer unsolved cases, but if you have an unsolved case, or if you have, yeah, like if you have any case, you can just drop it in the comments. And actually, you know, you guys, if you like the content, if you like this kind of stream and my channel, you know, like I would be, you know, it would mean the world to me if you liked the video and if you dropped a comment, because it really helps YouTube algorithm. So if you like, you know, just remember to like the video and maybe like drop a comment. You can suggest a case in the comment that you would like me to cover. And that also helps, really helps my channel and the algorithm to, you know, just, you know, recognize my channel and maybe deliver it to more people. Don't forget Cheetos. Yeah, my addiction to Cheetos. So if you want to support my addiction to Cheetos, head over to Patreon and we can, you know, we can eat some Cheetos over a bonus true crime case. Oh, okay. What? Okay, Scholastica also donated. Thank you so much, Scholastica. I'll defend folks calling in tips. Many are fake, but are well-meaning people who think that they saw something that might help. This case seems to have a lot of fakers, but this happens a lot. We don't hear about them because they don't matter. That's so true. Okay, yeah, I do agree with you, you know, wholeheartedly. Some people do genuinely believe that, okay, I saw someone who looks like, you know, this person. And I completely agree with those kind of tips, you know, like if a person believes, okay, I think I saw someone who might have looked like this missing person, I'm just gonna call it in. I agree with that, you know, like any tip, this should be actually checked, but not, you know, like obviously not those kind of tips where it's like an elaborate story and they say, oh, I know who murdered her, or oh, I know that there's a body buried here, and they know full well that, you know, it's not true. Obviously that's not okay. So, you know, unless you have a legitimate tip, or unless you have a tip where you believe that you saw the person, or you believe that you saw something disturbing, then yeah, call it in. Okay, wait. Maria was captured by an ad. Oh, damn. That's how I found her. Oh, yeah, okay, the ad. Yeah, right, that's how I found her too. Yeah, I'm running some ads on YouTube, so yeah, that's happening. So I'm glad you guys, you know, got served the ad, and I'm glad you guys decided to give my channel a shot. Okay, Lost Nemesis. This was fun, definitely coming back. Nice, thank you so much. Game leader, the algorithm is the true culprit. It is, but you know, honestly, you know, it really helps for the like, it really helps the channel if, you know, like if you guys like it, as long as you like it, you know, like if you don't, if you have some like even like negative feedback but constructive feedback, please, by all means, like put it in the comments. I read it, I take the, you know, even the negative feedback. I'm fine. Not everyone is okay with this kind of format. And that's okay. You know, not everyone is, let's say, okay with my accent. Maybe some people don't like foreign accent, and they just, you know, it sounds weird, and that's valid. Okay, that's okay. You know, I take the feedback, and I usually tell whoever has negative feedback, I tell them, hey, I get it. It's not for everyone. But I encourage you to look into the case or look into these cases because they are worth reading about, and they are worth, you know, paying attention to keep them alive. Okay, Laciel, I have yet to see this mysterious ad. Yeah, I found the ad too. Yeah, see, like some people get served. I guess, I don't know if you're gonna be served the ad if you're already subscribed, but sure. Y1N, I found you through a forum post. I was like, true crime VTuber? That's my jam. Oh, nice. Awesome. Okay. I didn't know there was a forum post, but hey, I'm glad that someone shared it. I like these type of true crime streams. Okay, nice, Joshua. Thank you so much, and I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you enjoy it. Meh, haters gonna hate. You do you, Sona. I will. You know, like despite, you know, even if there are haters, you know, I'm fine with that. I'm gonna do what I do because I love, you know, I personally love the format that I'm doing right now, and I'm just gonna continue because I like it. As much as I love pink hair and glasses, Sona, I will miss good old Crystal Sona. That's true. The other, yeah, like the, you know, the previous model had like crystal hair. I just thought that this model matches a little bit more, like the, you know, the theme a little bit more. So I guess, you know, but I still might use the old model for gaming streams. So we'll see. Is someone giving you major issues? No. I think I had like, so far up to date, maybe I had like one kind of negative comment, 1 or 2 negative comments, and I just, you know, honestly there was a negative comment once on my one of my animated videos, and they just didn't like the format, and they just said it, and I, you know, I replied, hey, I get it, you know, it's not for everyone. I'm glad you know, took some time to actually watch my video, and, you know, even though you didn't like it, go ahead and, you know, like I encourage you to look the case up. And they actually responded thanking me. They were like, oh, you know, thank you so much for your mature response, and I will look into the case. Maybe this wasn't the format for me, but I will, you know, look up the case. So that's, you know, no harm done, no hurt feelings, and it was fine. Nah, okay, wait. Go Tanks. Nah, you still see ads even when subbed. I see the ad every time I search a specific thing. Oh, okay. I guess, yeah, I guess you can, yeah, you might see my ad in that case. Sweetchy. Wait, is it Sweetchy? Or, I'm so sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. Just point your finger. I will throw my internet words at them. It's okay. Don't go after them. It's fine. Like, really, you know, as long as it's a, you know, it's a valid, it's not like very insulting comment, you know, just comment insulting, I don't know, my voice or something, you know, like that's just something I cannot change, then it's valid, you know, like not everyone have to like, you know, not everyone has to like this format, and that's perfectly okay. And hi, Nader. Hi, thank you so much for tuning in. But yeah, so wait, ADTR 210, screw the haters. That's true. Hey, haters, yeah, like, you know, negative feedback, that's valid. purely like hater comment, that's, yeah, obviously I'm not gonna react to that, but you know, it's okay. As I said, like I usually just tell them that, hey, it's fine, you know, like I take it and it's fine. Damn, a Nexpo collab would be awesome. I would love to. Damn, I love that channel. I love that channel. I would love to have that, you know, like I would love to do that collab someday. Hey, when, you know, maybe one day they, you know, I can invite them here, or they can invite me over. I'm down. If they find me, I'm down. Wait, I mock you every day. Tyrant, but that's like, you know, I mean, to me it sounds like jokes. If it's not jokes to you, then yakfu. So when are you doing the promised singing stream? So I did look into how to do it. I'm probably gonna do it on YouTube. I actually am I'm really close to hitting 5,000 subs. So I think because it's nearing Christmas and 5,000 subs, I think I'm gonna do that stream soon for like celebration. I don't know if that's gonna be a regular thing, because I'm, as you can tell, my voice after 2 hours is just like, I'm kind of getting super, I don't know, scratchy. And also do you guys really want to hear me sing like I heard Injured Seagull? Because that's how I'm gonna sound most of the time. Sweet G, to be honest, I think this format feels quite fresh and I like it. And yes, you pronounced it right. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think it's something new. Like the format that I'm doing, it's a little bit new. So I hope it's gonna, you know, it's gonna grow. It's gonna like become a niche or niche. I don't know how to pronounce it, but yeah. I got nothing. Yes, music is music. And yes, nice. Plot twist. Sona is actually an opera singer. No, I am definitely not. I am an alto, okay? I cannot hit very high notes. So you can expect, if I sing something, you can expect this, any song that I'm gonna sing, it's gonna be like kind of lowered in key to like an alto, so that I can pull it off. Probably not Disney songs, because damn Disney songs and their bridge. Okay? Every Disney song has a goddamn bridge, and I can't handle that. Okay. I think my voice is kind of so Christmas music, perhaps. I think I might sing some Christmas songs and like different songs in that stream, so it might be like a mixed stream. Okay, Tyrant Kitsuna, I fought hard to get you to sing, and I will. I promise I will. I'm prepping for the stream, and I'm prepping for, you know, I'm choosing the songs. I'm actually in the process of like choosing the songs that I'm gonna sing. Okay, gamer leader, got my credit card info stolen and bank froze it, so premium ran out. I started seeing ads and found you through them. Okay, awesome. Well, I mean, I'm glad. Okay, I'm sorry to hear about your credit card. I hope that you know, like you blocked your card and your account is safe. But you know, ironically, I'm happy that you found my channel. Plot twist, Sona actually sung the Oogie Boogie song. I did not, okay? I did not. I refuse deny any allegations. Never been so happy to have my card frozen. Lol. You like jazz? I do like, I don't really sing jazz, but I do like listening to jazz. It's just, you know, I mean, usually instrumentals. So, you know, it's very calming. Make sure you wear that Santa hat. I will. I'm actually drawing, you know, like big reveal. Oh, I mean, small reveal. I'm actually drawing a small kind of addition to my outfit. You know, and I'm gonna like animate it in Live 2D. So you're gonna see a slightly Christmassy Sona. I'm liking this format. It's something new and good. Okay, awesome, Joshua. Thank you so much. Okay, you guys, my voice is just, it's been 2 hours and my voice is just going, you know, bananas. It's just disappearing slowly. So I have to end this stream. But thank you again for tuning in. There were so many of you. I'm so happy to see so many people. Yeah, thank you so much for supporting my channel, my work. Stay safe out there. You know, don't go to Atlanta, maybe. Yeah, don't go to Atlanta. And always lock your doors. God damn, always lock your doors, people. Until the next time. Bye.